fights on the card that are huge. Before we get into that, we talk about the main event. This is one that I said last month I was going on the record to say that it's going to be my terrible MMA take of the year by picking Felicia Spencer to beat Amanda Nunes. And I've kind of changed my opinion a bit. I think this could easily be more of a Raquel Pennington or a Valentina Shevchenko 2 fight for Nunes. I think she's probably... I said if she fights the way she does against Germaine de Randamie, like she searches for the finish, she gasses out, then I see Spencer winning. And I stick by that. I think if Nunes goes in there trying to take her out in the first round, she will lose that fight. I think she will. Felicia Spencer has a great gas tank. She has a chin made of adamantium. She doesn't get tired. She has a ruthless top game. Very good submission skills. She's bigger than Nunes. I could see Felicia winning if Nunes goes in there trying to headhunt, get the knockout in the first round, right? I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm stubborn, so I'm sticking my pick of Spencer just because I need to make up ground in the Courtside Soundoff picks league. Because Angel's ahead of me by 5 picks. So I need to pick some upsets. So I'm gonna go Spencer here, but I could easily see this being kind of a Shevchenko 2 fight or a Pennington fight where Nunes is a lot more cold. She's calculated. She keeps the fight on the feet. But even then, it's hard. I don't know how it's gonna go because she's gonna have the 10. We haven't seen Nunes fight for an extended time at 145. She's gonna be a lot heavier in there. So who knows, man? But I know that you're gonna pick Nunes, but just give your justification for the main event.
I'm still gonna pick Nunes, man. Champ. I'm gonna jokingly say she might retire after this fight. Just be 20-4, defending the title one more time. When it just be the perfect storm, about to have a kid, all this going on. Good way to end it. Another one out of it.
Well, I don't even think that you're wrong. I don't think you're far off.
No, I don't know. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, I actually thought about this earlier this week too, because like she's talked about retiring relatively soon before, and then like she's having a kid soon, like real soon she's gonna be a mom. So I could really see her retiring, win, lose, or draw after this fight, and nobody would blame. It's like, and even if she wasn't having a kid, and she like wanted, even if she had no like thing of retirement, she would have defended the title twice. Like defended 2 belts, right? She would have beaten every single name there is possible to beat the division. Every single other female go contender she's beat her. Shevchenko twice, Rousey, Holm, Tate, Cyborg, like, and now she's already beating kind of the next kind of crop. She's beaten like every UFC women's champion ever, from flyweight to featherweight. Like she would have done every single thing possible. So I would not be surprised if Amanda Nunes retires. Because, for example, who does she fight after this?
Dude, she's gonna destroy her body and fight Whaley.
Oh, Jesus Christ, please, no.
Only if Whaley was a little bit taller.
Sometimes I think about, like, pound for pound stuff. Like, if this person was the same weight as this person, Whaley versus Nunes would be an awesome fight in UFC 4. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I could see Nunes retiring, though. Because, like, for example, she wins this. Who does she fight next? Megan Anderson? You know, did she fight Aspen Ladd? Did she fight Holm again? Like, there's nobody.
The sad thing is, none of those fights are even, like, intriguing to me, which is weird to say. But that's just the state that women's MMA is in right now, sadly. But one day we'll get to a point where there's a lot of contending and competition and excitement, you know.
It's not even that it's like that's the state of women's MMA, because there's a lot of, like, for example, I think if you took Nunes out of the picture, I think 135 would be pretty competitive. Holm, Pennington, Ladd, JDR, like there's a lot of good names there.
No, you're right, but I'm just saying, just because she's there, this is the current state of it, because there's nothing to make.
She's so far ahead. And like I brought up a lot of names a minute ago. I think the only one that could potentially be competitive with Nunes is probably Megan Anderson, and I know I've always been on that train, but she's literally a 6'3" featherweight with tons of knockout power. But also Nunes could probably just grapple the shit out of her and submit her in the first round. Like, I'd literally just love to see Nunes fight against somebody who has so much size on her, because we've never seen that happen. Because Nunes, as far as size goes, she's near the top end of that division. So yeah, but to kind of move on, actually real quick, I had a question to ask. If Spencer wins, where does this rank in the UFC all-time upsets? It's got to be number 1, right? Like, ever.
Number 1? I guess that's another good one. Well, no, I don't even think that's an upset to be real. Really? I was gonna bring up the Tito loss.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well, like
to the 40-year-old man. But even then, I don't think that's really like an upset. That's like, oh my god, like looking back at it, you know what I mean?
well, in terms of like history, I think there's only two other ones you can put it up there with, and that's Sarah GSP, and then obviously Bisping Rockhold too.
I
That's
don't
it.
know. I'm trying to think really hard. Would you consider the? Oh man, I already lost my train of thought. Well, no, I guess now with no, I can't say that with all the information we have now about all that fight and
Well,
how
well,
that.
it'd be okay. What fight are you thinking of?
I was gonna bring up Ronda, but I'm like, well, we knew Ronda didn't have the striking,
Ronda
and
and Holly.
yeah, but I'm like, looking back at it, it's
Well,
not really
that
an
that
upset.
is one of the well, that's not that's for the time though. That's still one of the biggest upsets ever. If we're talking odds wise, I think Ronda was a 6-1 favorite.
Hmm.
So that was still a huge upset.
I don't know, but no, you're right. This is definitely be an upset. But I mean, I feel like she's not. I feel like Felicia isn't full. It's not Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua type situation where a lot of people really disregard, Andy. You know what I mean? So
I
that's what I'm trying to think about. A situation like that.
I suppose so, but I don't know a single person that like even has her as like a live dog here. Like I just looking at like the internet and seeing it
I, I,
picks.
gu- I guess
I don't
I
see
guess you're
anybody.
right, but maybe there has to be a set of group of people who have like who maybe don't pick her but have laid out the plan or the idea of which she has to go about during the fight to be successful in. Because from what you say, it's like there's a lot of things there. It's just a matter of putting those tools together, making the fight go a certain way, and then obviously taking down the big dog.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think there's a path to victory there. Like I'm one of the few people that's kind of championed the idea that Spencer can get it done. I mean, she's a ruthless top game. I mentioned earlier, ruthless top game, great gas tank, amazing chin, and is a really really strong grappler in general with great submission skills. I could see her winning this, but also I'm biased because I've seen her fight in Invicta. I've watched pretty much her entire journey here, so I could see it happening.
I don't know,
But
man. I've also been a proponent of having faith in certain people who, yeah, well, granted, both of us. I mean, I did say Jorginho had a chance at being in Ghana.
yeah, well,
I
what's
still don't
funny
think that
about
was.
that?
I still don't think that was too far fetched. I still
It's
don't think
funny.
that's.
It's funny too because I'm pretty sure we were right on a lot of stuff. It's only 25 seconds of that fight, right? But during that time, we literally watched Jairzinho. All the stuff we talked about, we saw him do. Like he threw like 2 or 3 leg kicks that all landed. Whenever Ngannou started swinging in on him, he landed 2 counter left hands, like we said, and Ngannou just took him and put him out. So like
No, no,
it was
no. The tools were there. It wasn't successful. Also, I mean, as soon as Ngannou took that first leg kick, he's like, "Fuck that! I'm not taking another one
exactly
of those."
exactly.
Because the man is a kickboxer, so we already knew that wasn't going to go down. But that's the past now.
We were literally like, but that wasn't even a bad pick though, because we didn't even pick him to win. We were right on the money on what he was gonna do.
Or what he should do, what he should
Yeah,
have done. He did do all of that. Just well, thank God he
if
was there.
if he didn't counter, if actually it's funny, right? If he did not choose to counter that with that left hook like he normally does, right? That left hook, which he has so much success with, right? If he did not choose to counter with that, he he could have just ran out of there and started going back to the game plan. He's like, bro, my left hook works on. I knocked out Arlovsky with this. I knocked out Overeem with this. Fuck it, bro. I'm throwing that left hook. He threw like 2 of those left hooks, and then Ngannou just walked right through him and knocked him out. Like that's ridiculous. The man's he's a cyborg. We
Jesus.
got really off topic, so let's go to the but let's go to the co-main. The co-main, kind of a I don't want to say it's a loser leaves town matchup, but it's a loser is in a lot of trouble matchup. Cody Garbrandt, the former bantamweight champion of the world, last time he won UFC 207 4 years ago, which is insane. Like if I told you, like right after that fight, the minute after that fight, that Cody Garbrandt that would be his last win for 4 years, you would have thought I was insane. But that was the last time he won that amazing performance against Dominic Cruz. Which just it's absolutely insane to me, man. Like it's just he lost 3 in a row, all via knockout, and it wasn't even like he looked bad either. He was winning the TJ fight the first time around. He knocked him down and he finished him in the first. Second TJ fight, he was looking pretty good. He tagged TJ. I think he might have dropped TJ again or tagged him or something along the lines. It's been a while since I've seen that fight. And then he went for the kill, got knocked out again, And then the Munoz fight, he just, instead of sticking to the game plan, he decided to swing and bang and look for the knockout. And he tagged Munoz a lot of times. But it's like he forgot about that Brazilian chin, and he ended up getting put out because Munoz just weathered the storm. Now here we go. Fourth fight, right? He's taking on a Rafael Sunsao, who's probably, in my opinion, the most underrated dude in the UFC period. The guy at one point from like 2011 to 2017, he went like 11-1. His wins were Marias, Sterling, Rob Font, Brian Caraway, Pedro Munoz, T.J. Dillashaw. Like he was one of the baddest dudes of that division, man. Like and now here he is though. Like he's lost 2 in a row. He lost to Marias in the rematch, and then he lost to Corey Sandhagen, which are both top dudes. But I remember that Sandhagen fight. I don't remember it being particularly close. And then the Marias one, he got finished really quickly, got knocked down, nearly stopped, and then he got submitted. This is a fight where both dudes need to get back into the win column, and I'm not sure why I'm doing it because I know I'm probably going to regret it. But Cody Garbrandt, I think he's going to stick to the game plan. He switched camps. Now he's training with Mark Henry, who's one of the greatest striking coaches in the world. I think they're going to keep him on the game plan. And I think even if he doesn't stick on the game plan, I'm not sure if Rafael Sunsao has the power to get him out of there. So I'm going to go with Cody No Love in the co-main event. Who do you got?
Oh boy, this is a tough one, bro. I actually think this is probably the hardest pick so far, maybe of the year for me, right here.
It's funny because same page.
Yeah, I think it really is for a number of reasons, but it's like 4 years. Rafael isn't even like a sleeper pick. Like he has all the tools there. All the losses are forgivable, like all the recent losses. Because the other losses are really old. Just leave but I'm talking within recent time. Like I feel like they're all forgivable. But then he also a lot of those decisions he had with like Aljamain, Rice. They're split decisions. They just edged it out. Maybe how people could believe it was the other way around or whatever, vice versa. And then Cody got murked 3 times. 3 times in a row. 4 years since the last win. Hasn't tasted victory. He's still young though. 28, hitting that prime athletic year of your life. There's some hope here. I'm really torn on this one. This is like I told you, this is probably the hardest pick right here. I'm almost tempted to pick Rafael, but for some reason I think there's light at the end of the tunnel for Cody, so I'm gonna pick Cody.
That's kind of the way I feel, man. Like he switched camps. He's saying all the right things. And Rafael, man, like when this fight first got made, I was picking Rafael Sunsao. But the more that I've thought about it, the more I've seen kind of interviews with Cody. He looks like he's in a good mind, like a good state of mind. Training with a good team. He's taking the time off to kind of heal and recover and kind of get his mind in the right place to fight. I think he's going to do it, man. Like I think I'm a huge Rafael Sunsao guy, but I just don't think with the way their fighting styles are, I don't think Sunsao, even if Cody No Love goes fucking insane in there like he does sometimes, I don't know if Sunsao has the power to spark him out of there. Like I don't off the top of my head, I don't know how many TKO or knockouts that Sunsao has, but he's very much a guy that is going to stick there, and he'd rather outpoint you than put himself in harm's way. So, actually, in the UFC, let me just check this. I think he has 1 TKO win ever. In Sunsao does. So
it was recent too.
No, it was in 2012.
Really? I just saw 2017. Matthew Lopez.
I completely missed. He has 2. Excuse me. You're right. I completely missed that one.
But there's big gaps though. There's big gaps.
Yeah, so he has the power to spark guys out, but it's like Matthew Lopez. I don't know if he's in the UFC anymore. And the guy that before that he knocked out was only in the UFC for like 2 fights. Japanese guy, Isia Tamura. So, does he have the power to spark out UFC competition? Is kind of the question. But regardless, same page. We're picking Cody No Love. Team Garbrandt.